I think it is time for NXT to take over.
Suplex City, bitch.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
I told my father I'm gonna set up my own lucha league in America, and I'm gonna make it the best league in the world.
I'm gonna leave him in a pile of blood and urine and vomit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. The wrestling podcast where we review Monday Night Raw and give all of you beautiful people the wrestling news of the week. The host of this show, which is myself, which now has over 450 subscribers, is myself, Turbo Tony. And I am joined by a man who, let's just say, wasn't the only one who was wrong when we said that Steve Austin wouldn't be on Raw this week. It's Matt Marsander.
Hey, you said that too.
That's why I said it. I said I didn't say you were the only one.
I know.
I got
it's like, it won't happen. I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yay! I could have been wrong. I kind of was wrong. 50-50. But still. Yay!
How you doing this week, Matt?
Yeah. I can't complain. It's been a tough week of work, but yeah. I was about to say, wrestling got me through it. That's kind of a lie.
You're not entirely true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been smiling as much as Apollo Crews does on a weekly basis?
With that big grin.
Yeah, that big grin.
Yeah, it's good.
Just you walk into work and you see a name badge, you're like, "That's me. That's me." Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, and sort of beat chest.
Yeah. but can you do the standing moonsault? That's the real question.
No.
It's best just to leave that question.
I'm not. This is something I won't even attempt.
Okay. Now, I know last week, everyone, we told you all that Matt was hosting the show. He's not doing it this week. He's probably going to do it in the weeks going forward once you feel like you've had more time to look over wrestling in general. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. I just thought it was like, nah, fuck it, solid.
Yeah.
This is our system, and this is how it works.
We're getting so close to episode 100 that the pressure is mounting, and you just couldn't handle it this week. That's how it goes. So you've got me back for this week. In my regular seat. Number one? You can have the bridge, but I'm back now, so yeah, that's how it works. Wait till you have to do solo shows, Matt, on occasion.
It won't happen because I don't have the recording software.
Oh, I'll make sure you do. Yeah, because I just want to see how that shit goes down. Yeah. Big week here on the show. Obviously, this is episode 98 on the channel. We're ever getting close to episode 100. But why talk about episode 100 when the fact is that we've got episode 98 and we've got plenty to talk about this week. We've got our news, we've got our fan feedback, we've got the NXT report card, we've got Raw, and obviously we've got our Hell in a Cell predictions, because as you're listening to this, it is the day of Hell in a Cell, so we'll be talking about the our particular thoughts on who's going to win the said matches, and who knows, we might have a night where we clean house and get all of it correct. Or we might mess up. Who knows? We tend to do one or the other, don't we? Either get every single one correct.
I think we maintain a strong average.
Yeah, I think we have.
I like to think.
So, Matt, the master of Twitter, I shall call you.
The leader of the Marsander Mafia.
Yeah, oh, okay. Go one step further. Fair enough. What is our Twitter handle for the Mafia, then?
The Mafia is represented at Talk Wrestle Pod.
At Talk Wrestle Pod, okay. So you can follow us on there, Matt. That is the home base for the Marsander Mafia. Now, before I go into our intro competition, there has been names being fluttered around my fans, Matt.
I can only imagine it's probably something like Team Turbo.
Well, we had one.
It's. I'm sorry if that's the case. It sounds like a very bad Disney kids TV show.
What, Team Turbo?
Team Turbo!
There was actually like a movie Turbo, which my kids watch quite regularly, so I don't know about that. But
yeah.
Now we've got either the Turb Nation, which I'm not as keen on.
No.
And the Turbinators, which
Definitely no.
I'm not so sure about that. One, because I don't know if I'll be able to refrain from using my, my best Hans and Franz accent, my Arnie accent when stating such ways. So I think we'll have to do a little bit more brainstorming, because I think we'll have to get one on par with the Marsander Mafia, and I don't know if that's quite there yet, if we're quite there. But I'm sure we'll get there. We'll get there. I like the fact that we've had, a few people talking about it. I am naturally assuming they're on my side. So, I may be wrong, but sure. Who knows? That's just how recruitment goes, isn't it? You just naturally assume and they come. So,
that's it.
Yeah. So, for our intro competition, Matt, the time is running out. Guys, you only have about a week and a half to send in your submissions for the intro competition. And what it is 30 seconds, and you can introduce the show. Do your best, Paul Heyman, to introduce us on our show about what you're going to get ready for. Around about 30 seconds, a little bit more, a little bit less. Either or, doesn't matter. But then you need to send those submissions to letstalkwrestlingpodcast at gmail.com. And that is the email that you can send any other... if you want to send questions to us on there, then that's fine. We'll do it on there as well. But you can also leave them in the comments section there below as well. And what do you get if you get that, Matt? You get the Let's Talk Wrestling T-shirt, which I will be ordering extremely soon for ourselves, and we will be rocking for NXT Takeover London. So you'll have pictures of us there with the shirts. I think that's a suitable place to debut said shirts. Do you think?
That's it.
Yeah. Right.
I did feel bad because I would just put that merch. No, colours strong.
Yeah, we're rocking the white and red.
Merch.
That's exactly how we're doing it. So before we get on to our wrestling talk this week, I got an email this week, Matt, and it's from a music musician, music creator. I don't know the correct term. He goes by the name of Montesi, and you may already know that name, because there was a really awesome Roman Reigns song created by Montesi, and it got a lot of traction. I think it's close to about 100,000 views or something crazy like that, right? But it was really good, really professionally sounding track for Roman Reigns. So he got in contact with us, and he told us that he's getting a new one coming out, which is coming out today for John Cena. And Matt, you've listened to it. I've listened to it. It's a good track. I do like it. I like how, it does sound as if it's as professional as as the WWE would put out in terms of a promo track for Cena. So it's awesome. I advise you guys to go check it out. The link is in the comment section. Not in the comment section, in the description, sorry. Go check out the track. And like I said, it's today it gets released. So you can go out and watch that track. And I was pleasantly surprised, shall we say, how good this was and how professional it was. So Montesi, go check it out. The track, I believe, is called Triumphant Master. And it's a track for John Cena. And I'm sure that John Cena will hear about it, because it is pretty damn good. So moving on from there. So Matt, are you ready to get into the talking of the wrestling?
All good to talk of wrestling.
Yeah, you ready to talk about some wrestling? I'm ready to talk about
wrestling talkings.
That's why they flock to us, Matt. That's why they come. As they famously say, you talk wrestling and they will listen. That's. I'm sure someone out there said that. Maybe. I don't.
It's a wonderful paraphrase.
Yeah. Listen, if no one said it before, then fuck it, I've said it now. So there we go. Not saying I'm a prophet or anything. Maybe that's a little bit too much. But hey, it's not a bad thing to really think of, is it? Anyway, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit of the news of the wrestling this week. A few interesting tidbits of information. We may as well start with the Stone Cold podcast with Brock Lesnar that happened after Raw this week. Matt, did you catch this?
I got about halfway in, and then I realised that it was just turning into a typical Austin podcast of hunting, and I lost interest very quickly.
Okay, so you just what I surmise.
I will finish it. I will finish it.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to listening to it or to watching it, whichever. It's a podcast. I'll probably just have it on in the background. But it very quickly, I'm not entertained by this.
I tell you what it is, though, Matt. Right, because
they want to hide the fact that Austin said to Paul Heyman, "Yeah, Texas Death Match.
Yeah.
Don't fight Lesnar.
Yeah, that was not.
And now all of a sudden it's like, don't mention anything. You are friends.
You're basically tugging each other. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I tell you what it is though, Matt. I quickly realised throughout this that anyone who knows what sort of man Brock Lesnar is and knows what he's about, what drives him, would find this not as interesting as someone who doesn't, because that's essentially what the podcast was kind of showing. Brock Lesnar, what kind of man is he?
The other side of Lesnar, yeah.
Yeah, which me and Matt already know, right? Because we follow. Not a bad podcast by any means, but it's no more. I mean, no podcast I think is going to top the one that Austin did with Vince and all the talking points that came out of that. I mean, geez, we did a joint extra episode about that and the punk stuff, right? And it was just, we could talk about that for hours, all the repercussions.
Do you know one thing though? I don't know if that was my most enjoyable one.
What, the Vince one?
I think it depends, because like with the Vince one, was probably the more interesting. I think the Heyman one was also very good, but then I also think Edge and Christian was the best for comedy,
entertainment, right? Yeah,
as an entertaining podcast. So it's like, I can't pick one.
yeah. But the Lesnar one was fine. It just wasn't. I don't think it wasn't everything that everyone hoped it would be. But I'm sure anyone that doesn't know the ins and outs of the man Brock Lesnar, they would enjoy this. So
yeah,
it's certainly not bad. I tell you what, Matt. I tell you what is quite liberating when you hear him talking about just genuinely how little he cares about what other people say or think about what he does and what he is.
Yeah,
that's an admirable trait. I actually wish I had that a lot more in abundance than I currently do. I think, sometimes when you see someone like that, it's like, oh man, I wish I felt that way. I wish I just didn't give a shit. And along those lines. But that's the one thing that I took away from it anyway. That and you tell him, you can tell just by looking at him when he's talking about it. Brock doesn't give a rat's ass who thinks anything about him. Right? He does his work. If anyone wants a problem with it, they know where he is. Not a lot of people call him out on it. So that's where we're left, So that's Lesnar for you. But interesting. But it's I think it was a lot like the Page one, if you remember. A lot of the Page one. If you had listened to podcasts with Page before, you knew a lot of stuff she was going to say in that
story.
Yeah. So it's more of the same being listened to. But it was still fine. But still, Matt. Moving on from that. Daria and Mada have reportedly signed to WWE Developmental. For people who don't remember those names, they are names that were in the Tough Enough competition.
I've already forgotten which one Daria was.
She was the one who was doing that falling angel crap, and she was also like an MMA fighter. Remember, like she was the one who dropped her title at the bottom of the ocean. Remember, and we were like blasting the judges for blasting her about dropping the title in the river in that challenge. Do you remember that at all?
No.
You've scorched it from your mind.
I remember. I know that happened. But if I was to point her out in the middle of a crowd, no.
You wouldn't be able to. Oh, well, that's fair enough. But, Matt, my issue with this, Mada, you can remember. He was quite a striking guy.
You forget Mada.
Yeah. But Tough Enough is it's ceasing to be looked in any way as a competition where basically about six people from it.
Well, Josh and Amanda won it.
Yes. No, Josh and Sarah Lee.
Josh and Sarah Lee won it, right. I've heard nothing of Sarah Lee.
Yeah.
But I've heard stuff recently about Amanda.
Yeah, she's going to be on Total Divas, I think, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Josh on the
Breaking Ground
advert, but at the beginning of the Breaking Ground advert, you hear ZZ.
Yeah, right. Apparently he's been signed.
Yeah, and apparently Patrick's been signed as well from it. That's a rumor that's been thrown around.
It just keeps coming up every now and then.
Yeah, but it's just like, so what was the point? They're competing for $250,000 contract. Nope, they're just here so we can pick the bunch.
Yeah. He's getting a little bit like that. If they do another season, Matt, and they're like, oh, it's going to be the winner gets this exclusive contract, you should really care about who wins, I'll be the first person on the show to go, fucking bullshit. Absolutely not. Like, it's not important that you win this show. And Tough Enough has a long-standing history of, doesn't matter really if you win the show. Like, a lot of the stars have come
Ryback didn't win.
Yeah, right. Miz
didn't win.
John Morrison didn't win. There's a lot of stars that have come out from Tough Enough. or shall we say Cameron, came out of Tough Enough. First eliminated.
Yeah.
There might be hope for that guy who says he doesn't need to know anything. Oh no, wait, it was Hank who went first for dissing women. Okay, maybe there's hope for Hank yet. Maybe no,
Hank.
no. But yeah, come on, it's kind of.
What was Hank?
He was the one who made some flippant comment about women not being able to do as good as the men. So obviously he got roasted in like the first week.
I thought that was the big matey who was saying that it doesn't matter about what's come before. All that matters is...
No, that was someone else. If I remember, when I first reviewed it, when Hank was gone, you were... I think you were like somewhere else. You weren't there.
Oh, hang on.
Well,
I think I remember Hank.
I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't, to be honest. He was not there for long.
I think I might actually have to Google this. I'm going to Google Daria whilst I'm at it.
Yeah, do that. But yeah, apparently they've been signed. This does damage the perception from fans like ours who follow this sort of stuff.
The worst part is for Hank, I was just like, it was the guy with the beard. No, that was Tanner. But yeah, he did have a beard.
He did have a beard, yeah. He was just a bigger guy, wasn't he? But it harms our perception of this show, of the show being genuine and being something like, only the person who wins gets this contract. This happens every season.
That one.
What, you looking at Daria?
Yeah. I like how I Google Tough Enough Daria, and the next, it instantly comes out. It's like,
yeah, she came out on the show, didn't she?
On the show. It's
yeah.
New stuff.
So, there you go. They've been signed along with a huge list of other people, and it does, like I said, it does damage the perception of the show. And a lot of people now, including myself, I will call it next season of Tough Enough, because they're going to try it again. WWE can't help themselves. But next season, when they try and say, only one winner, I'll be like, fucking bullshit. Really?
Lies.
Really?
Just nothing but lies.
Yeah. It's, but still, anyway. Matt?
I think of all the people ever to go into Tough Enough, or they didn't even get into Tough Enough. Do you remember that bird with all the tattoos who had to get stopped because her heart was a bit dodgy?
Oh, her, yeah.
It was only a little bit. They were like, probably shouldn't. And as a result, I think ZZ got the chance.
Yeah, that's it.
And I was like, her. That's who we want.
Yeah. She looked alright. Looked a bit different, but still, we'll see how it goes. Matt, we talked about the story long ago, back when all those negative stories were coming out about wrestling and shooting and murders and stuff.
Wrestling, yeah.
We talked about Bram and him apparently falsely imprisoning his then girlfriend and strangulating her. Well, the charges have been dropped this week. He has now been reinstated to TNA.
Yep.
So I'm sure that he'll sign another multi-year contract, which I do know he enjoys signing those contracts. I've lost count the amount of times TNA loves to give them to him. So there is that. But he's back in TNA now. Matt, my main thing about this, people thinking, well, obviously this was a bunch of hoopla, hogwash or whatever, or a bunch of shit, which is another way of talking about it. Let's not beat around the bush, right? He got lucky with this. He's got a history of being a violent prick, and don't let these charges being dropped fool you into thinking that he's completely and utterly an innocent little boy involved with his life. No, there's been multiple. You can fucking Google Bram and issues, and yeah, it'll come up. Why do you think he's not with WWE anymore, right? So, yeah, he's back with TNA. Good for them.
Fair, that's one of those things where I'm like, where like you say, good thing he's not with WWE anymore. It's just one of those like, oh yeah, he was with WWE at one point.
Yeah, he was the Ascension. So yeah, take that.
And what did he get kicked out of that for? Beating up a copper.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Oh dear.
He's got a history of being a violent, antisocial asshole. So
yeah,
let's not beat around the bush with it. A few reasons why this could have happened. Now, obviously, it could be the case that she was lying. Seems very, very, very unlikely that would be the case. But she could be lying, and he could be completely innocent. Or more than likely, there wasn't enough evidence, or she didn't want her name dragged through the public media. There's multiple reasons why this wouldn't have gone to court. So don't think instantly of, obviously there was nothing to this. It seems a bit weird that you have something that direct and that specific, false imprisonment and strangulation, You know, normally when this stuff comes around and it's fake, it's like, oh, there was battery done to me and stuff like this. That seems very specific. Strangulation and false imprisonment. That's something quite strange. So I don't know what's happened there. But he's back in TNA. Not that it means much. Let's face it. Bram isn't a huge draw for like TNA, right? He isn't. It wouldn't be the same if John Cena was in this position, right? You know what I mean? For WWE, and he got, you know, for some same reason. But yeah, it's TNA for you, but still.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Oh.
No, it's 'cause I'm flicking through like video, like going through Google, and I sort of like it's almost like Bram Ascension. It's like, hang on a second. Oh, that was the Ascension when they were good.
No.
Like, really good.
Sad Matt is sad. Oh.
Sad Matt is sad.
Yeah.
And then he got fired, and then they were still good.
And then
now
you look at them now.
And now they are bad.
They're not even associated with Stardust anymore. You know that's when things are getting bad for you, you know? But still. Matt, let's talk about Tyler Breeze. There were reports of him possibly getting pushed to the main roster soon. It didn't seem like that was going to happen.
And guess what?
He did.
did.
He did. He debuted on SmackDown. Yeah.
Says a lot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unfortunately.
As if that would alleviate... Go on.
What was it? As Summer's new boyfriend or something, isn't it?
Yeah, basically like...
oh, no.
They had a segment with Ms. TV and them, and then she was like, oh, I found someone who's...
a real man. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah. And then,
yeah! I mean, if there's any consolation, we can get... No. Like, there's a silver lining to this dirty cloud.
Okay.
We can get Breeze Ziggler matches.
Okay, but my issue is that WWE will WWE it, and instead of getting one match built up...
we get 3-minute bullshit.
No, it's not that. It's that, cool, their first match might be really awesome. They might have it on Raw, maybe even on the pay-per-view. But I reckon that it's going to be WWE way that, this is Ziggler's new rivalry for 4 months, right? And it's like, literally Breeze and Ziggler for 4 months, and it's like...
Yeah, and the fact that, like, let's bring him out as part of a story that's already stagnant.
Yeah, right? You know what I mean? Whereas, like, you know, look on NXT, right? Is that you thought they might be doing the same with him and Samoa Joe. They're wrestling each other next week to solve this mini rivalry that they've had. It's not going to be, you know, increased by months until it's finished. That's how NXT gets their shit done. They have their wrestlers wrestle it out, and then they move on to something else, rather than making 4 months of it. But it doesn't...
It's sad again.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't alleviate any of my concerns, really, about what they would want to, or what they know what to do with Breeze. I firmly believe that the main roster doesn't know how to use someone like Tyler Breeze.
Oh, no, not at all.
No. I kind of wish that, you know, I said that role for him after the last NXT TakeOver would be the Jake the Snake role that he would be in, where he would wrestle a lot of the up-and-comers. And, you know, he get a few wins here and there, but his main job was to make sure they were ready for the main event, right? And that's what Jake did. I would be more than happy with Tyler doing that on NXT for the rest of his career, but no, he's gone to the main roster, and believe me, he's going to struggle.
It's almost like you're not allowed. I guess it's because it's their developmental center. You can't stay there because otherwise, how are you meant to develop? I suppose. But it's just like, no, you must graduate. You must go to the main roster.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I'm over here.
Yeah, that's it.
The crowd love me. I get my own custom entrance at events.
Yeah. And he...
Again, what am I going to get on SmackDown? Fuck all.
You look at these people that they're drawing, they're participating in, like, being draws, right? They sold out the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. You know, they go up to the main roster, and suddenly all that pulling power is immediately removed because they're going to a different audience. You know, NXT has one audience and Raw has.
Have you seen his debut?
Yeah, I've watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the one thing I hated?
Go on.
It was very quiet for a while.
It was a bit dead, wasn't it? And you think SmackDown's one of those shows that they make, you know, they plant fan responses. They do soundovers for it if they want to.
Because they can, yeah.
Because they can, right? Which they're guilty of doing, by the way. But, you know, they didn't seem... Like,
oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, what's happened?
I do think, though, Matt, do you think there's a chance of him wrestling Cena tonight?
I'd like to think that is the better option.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how to take what could be. It's like whether Cena's going to be dropping the title or...
I don't think he is. But, I mean, we can go to the...
Well, it kind of goes on how long is he going to be out for. How long is he going to be away for before they have to,
Yeah. I think that's a conversation.
Address the situation.
That's a conversation for later
that's
on.
That's a later in the show chat.
That's a prediction, right? But I do think that Tyler Breeze has got the most likeliness of being the one that wrestles him at the Open Challenge or the pay-per-view. Because everyone else is kind of wrapped up.
That would almost be like a proper debut for him. I know he turned up on SmackDown, but...
It would be his first match on the main roster, though, wouldn't it? He didn't wrestle on SmackDown. I saw the
Oh, no, he just turned up.
Yeah. I didn't know if he came back later on and wrestled or something like that, but still. Hopefully they can do Breeze right, but I am worried. He's one of those characters that I worry that they would...
They'll ruin.
They would ruin pretty quickly, or they make him doing a lot of this hokey shit, which really you don't need to be doing, right? No. The rivalry he's involved with Samoa Joe, and it's only a mini rivalry. Samoa Joe cut an awesome promo against Tyler Breeze at the end of NXT this week, and it was like, yeah, this is the sort of stuff I want Tyler Breeze involved in, but he's moving into this Summer Rae storyline, and good for him, I guess.
It is quite worrying.
It is worrying. Matt, are you ready for the fan feedback?
I am indeed ready for the feedback.
Now, there was one question that I had missed this week. I think it was from Alex from Wrestling Boom. It came in just after I'd finished my notes, so I do apologise. I will get to that next week in regards to that. Hopefully it's not something that's actually in regards to this week. So I have seen you, but I was
going to say, you should know if it's regarding...
Oh, all I got was a notification, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Do you have any questions from your Marsander Mafia, Matt?
No, my Marsander Mafia has been silent.
You know why? You know why that is? It's because I called them out, and I said, look, come on. The Marsander Mafia, it seems like you're gaining traction. They've gone into hiding a little bit. That's how it's gone.
That's it. That's just the way they all work.
Organised crime works,
Yeah, they can't be, peak all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go underneath. That's it. Well, we got plenty of questions here. Cappuccino brings up Evie from NXT last week, saying that she's a cutie and her name and gimmick came from other promotions that she's worked with. That's one thing that we said about her last week. Yeah, she's a... You know what I like that NXT's got? They don't have a lot of the Eva Marie type of models. They've got what I'd like to call cute girls, right? They've got girls that you... aren't models, but they're still very good looking, right? So, and she certainly goes into that. So I'm talking about the Baileys, right? You wouldn't see, FHM trying to get Bailey on a new spread or anything like that. But
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't see this is going to old style WWE, but I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have seen a Bailey Playboy.
Yeah, exactly, right. But she's still a good looking girl, and there's going to be some young boys out there think, oh right, she's awesome, and the likes of Sasha Banks and some of these newer ones, right, Becky Lynch and stuff like this, that they don't fit the pin-up model, but they're just as good looking, but for a different demographic. They're more real, right? They feel like more. Like they're not these pin-up models that you'll never ever experience in your lifetime. They seem like women that you can go to a bar and you can have a good drink with, right? So that's how it looks. She kind of fits with that Evie. She looks like a. And by the way, she can go. She looked like she could wrestle, right? That's one thing that you've seen, and she's young. That's a lot of really good ticks in the boxes for.
She was against Asuka, wasn't she, this week?
No, it was Nia Jax. She wasn't on this week. It was Nia Jax last week.
Oh yeah.
They had the Peyton Royce and the what's the name of the other one? They'd the Australian girl.
They're both Australian.
Well, they're both Australian. Okay, so
Peyton Royce is Australian. Yeah.
But they both were wrestling this week, so one of them's gone heel. But they're too much. I think they're too much like each other. That's my issue with those two girls. But anyway,
I found it really awkward when Peyton Royce came out and it's nothing.
Yeah, it's suddenly that she turned heel over the course of a week. It was okay, but still, they're trying to find their way, I guess.
No one cares.
If I were WWE though, Matt, when it comes to Evie, I would pick her up. I really would. And by the fact that she has her own music in Titantron, rather than just the bass jobber entrance, which Martin Stone or Danny Burch got on that got this week, where there's there's generic music, but there's no Titantron made for him or anything like that. Right? I think WWE are looking at her a lot more than they would be looking at someone that they've got no interest in. So they're keeping an eye on her, and like I said, she's young, got plenty of room to improve. I would pick her up. I think she's a good acquisition, but we'll see how it goes from there. BX Girl asks, what is going on with Enzo and Cass? Matt, are you looking at your Enzo and Cass t-shirt right now?
It's currently in the wash cycle.
It's currently in the wash. That's how it's doing, yeah? It's in the wash, and you can't teach that.
That's it.
Because it's a washing machine, so they're manufactured rather than taught. Maybe I don't know. I'm digging myself a hole here, and
I was going to say, you're going to try and find your way out of that one.
Yeah, no. But, to be honest, no. I'm just going to act like I never stepped into it. So let's see how it goes.
That's it.
They say that there may be some problems with Cruz as well, as the smiling babyface character. The fans may turn on him. So first, let's talk about Enzo and Cass, Matt. Okay. They look like they're in a weird spot at the moment, because I get the feeling that management are trying to decide whether or not to promote them or keep them on NXT, because they're such a draw for that demographic that they're going for, right?
For that brand, yeah. It'd be really worrying, actually.
I get the feeling that having Enzo and Cass around NXT obviously bolsters their drawing power, especially, I guess, for live events that they're doing a lot now.
Yeah.
But if they are, I think they need to come to a decision. I don't think they know currently where Enzo and Cass will end up in 6 months, and I think that's damaging the team in general. Would you agree with that? It certainly seems that way to me.
I find it... my main issue with them is I've got to think, why do they not have the straps?
The belts by now, yeah.
Like, why do they never get it? Like,
Well, I thought it was quite weird that they weren't put in the title contention of Brooklyn, all things considered, right? So yeah, I thought it was always quite weird that they weren't put in the title contention for Brooklyn, right? All things considered, with their character and everything, right? That.
Oh yeah, I mean I think they'd have gone over. Well, I was about to say, I think they'd have gone over really well, but they have. Like, they are over, and there's no real denying that.
I mean, even in their match that they had there, even though it wasn't that big, it wasn't even on the main card, it was aired the week after. Man, they got a hero's reception, as you would expect, right? But, like I said, I think that management just needs to kind of figure out, what do they want Enzo and Cass to be doing in 6 months? Where do they want them to go? Do they want them on the main roster? In which case, just go with it. Just do it, right? Because keeping them in limbo like this is not helping them, right? Even if they're still on NXT. So that's the way I look at it. What about Cruz? I reckon Cruz is going to have to play his cards very carefully, even though I think Cruz is going to make WWE a shit ton of cash, and I think he's going to be big deal.
Oh yeah, there's no denying that Cruz is money.
But
I don't know. I think he could easily fall into the problem of he's the happy smiley one.
Yeah, the Bo Dallas treatment, right? Like he made a character about it eventually, but I think Cruz will probably realize sooner rather than later, and I do think it'll be too late. Not too late for his career, but I mean too late for his face part of NXT for a little while. I think it will be too late when he realizes it, how quickly this crowd can change and how quickly they can turn on you. I don't think he realizes at the moment how quickly this support can turn into disdain, right?
Yeah.
I
don't know, though, because I think Cruz is quite safe with his indie followers.
Yeah, okay. I think he'll be afforded more time. I don't think he'll be afforded infinite time doing what he's doing. But I mean, he's still doing it. The smiling, I can't believe it's me. Eventually, he's going to have to get intense for this. And I do like the video packages that they're airing, by the way, for him are excellent, when they're going into his backstory and everything.
Oh
like
yeah, I enjoyed that on this week's episode.
That was one of the best parts of this week, right? But that will have to be tweaked. But I think that Cruz will probably realise, and like I said, I don't think he fully realises at the moment, just like literally it'll happen before you know it, right? Before you realise what's going on. Just ask Baron Corbin. One week people were counting his matches down and cheering for him, and the next week they were bored and they were like, no, don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
It
it's
can
like
change.
Corbin's in a really difficult place at the moment, which is sort of like, what is he at the moment?
Well, he's a heel. I think he's doing fine, Corbin, actually. I think he's doing okay. But, well, doing better than what he was before when he was basically playing the face all the way through and then people were booing him and then he was losing steam. I think he's okay at the moment. But, yeah, I think Cruz will realise, well, or unless he will be forced to realise just how quickly that can change. But, yeah, I do agree with that. EW 120996 asks if AJ Styles would make it big in WWE. Well, apparently I heard today he's injured, so I don't know how bad that is. I don't even know the validity of that anyway. But AJ Styles, if he was in WWE, I'm sure he would do okay. He would go through NXT, of course. I think he would do great there, do some great business for them. I think he has enough skill and enough backing that he would easily make the mid-card in WWE and be healthy in the mid-card. But beyond that, if you ask me if he's going to be world champion, absolutely not. Vince wouldn't accept him above that. If you wouldn't accept...
He's not homegrown.
Yeah. If you wouldn't accept Daniel Bryan for the longest time as being a WrestleMania main eventer, right, or being world champion, then you'd be damned he's going to, even now, with all the wrestling that AJ Styles has done in his career, and I'm sure that Vince looks at a lot of these, I don't want to say old, because they've still got plenty of years in their career, but these weathered stars in the indies. You know, he looks at Daniel Bryan and says, I gave him the chance, and then he got injured. How many more of these indie stars I'm going to give a chance to? But they've already taken thousands of bumps before they even got through my doors, and then they get injured again. So that's probably how he's thinking. But it's a mute question in the sense that Styles... it would be quite ill-advised for him to actually go to WWE because he's doing far too well on the indies as it is.
Well, even just New Japan.
Well, he's doing the rounds. Ring of Honor, New Japan.
That's true. He's actually been over in the UK quite a lot recently.
Yeah. You know, he may be earning more now than he would do in WWE. Yeah, it's more dangerous, and if he gets injured like apparently he has, then there's no safety blanket. But I'm sure he's doing just fine for himself, AJ Styles. I don't think...
I mean, the thing is, I don't think he's an idiot. Like, no. I think he's got all of his stuff in check. So it's like, I'm injured. Well, it's not like I can't afford... Like, it's kind of really like an arse-ish way, but like, it's not like I can't afford the injury, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, yeah. You know, like the money that I'd lose, the rehab that I have to purchase in America, because you don't have free healthcare like we do, right? He strikes me as a guy that probably saves his money pretty well because of the history he's had with the indies. And he is a smart guy. I mean, he was the first person to leave TNA. He smelt TNA's problems before they came out, right? So,
yeah.
You know, there is a big thing to be thinking of it there. But yeah, I don't see him ever going to WWE. I think he's just fine being the indie darling, you know, going in and out of Japan. I mean, come on, like the amount of accolades he's earned on the indies since leaving TNA. He's probably earning more money, and he's more of a draw for himself now, so it's all working out fine for AJ. Yeah, but I think if he went to WWE, would you agree with that? Mid-card, but nothing more, if that was the case? Almost like...
Yeah, I mean... It's kind of a shame, but it's kind of the WWE way of doing it. If he sort of came to WWE originally, I think he'd be massive. Yeah.
But it's the case that he's...
he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's just the way...
Simply enough.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Kane St. Dennis asks, what do we think is the best TLC match that didn't include the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian?
Easy.
Yeah, this was absolutely easy to me. I wonder if you got the same one as I did, no, Matt?
I've recently gone back and watched this match.
Go on.
Well, it's got to be Shield.
Yeah, Shield, Team Hell No.
Team Hell No, Ryback.
Ryback, yeah, that's what I went for. That's the Shield's debut match, and it was fucking amazing. It was awesome, brilliant. In fact, I think that's before we started the episodic of the episodes that we did, but we gave it our match of the year that year anyway. So
Yeah.
that was so much fun. It really was. So yeah, easily is that one. There's none that come close in my opinion. There's probably some that are pretty good, but to me that one is the.
I mean, my favorite thing actually about that is just whenever we joke the Sully, that's what Floppy Rollins looks like.
That post killed Seth Rollins, and it's him
Yeah.
fucking wrecked after that table bump that he took. You go back then and you wonder how he didn't fucking kill himself doing that. It was mental.
Crazy.
He's a crazy, crazy man. But it was such a cool match, and I tell you what, it was non-stop from start to finish, just absolute chaos and just so much fun.
But it's like the spots in it as well. Like where they propped the table across the two top turnbuckles.
Yeah, and they did the suplex off of it.
Basically the big giant superplex.
No.
Like the double, what was essentially, a double superplex.
So good. It's so fun, that match. And I'll tell you what, if you take all the great TLC matches that those guys did have, the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and you put that Shield match next
classics,
to it.
And very few things will sort of go in comparison, but
that one does, in my opinion, in a very different way, because it was a match that it was for pinfall.
It sits strong with me.
Yeah, it was just it was just so much fun. But still, you said you went back and watched it?
Yeah, I've recently gone back and watched it.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch it because I just remembered with that question that I was going to go back, so I probably will be doing that sometime tomorrow. Just so much fun. Timothy Smith asks, how long do we think Rollins will hold the world title? This is a question we've had quite a lot in the past, but not for a while, and I thought it was worth bringing it up because
as long as he needs to.
No, I've actually got a time and date that I think
answer.
he will lose the world championship.
That is a really awful answer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, to be honest, yeah. When he's ready, when someone is worthy.
What do you think?
Or in terms of winning the championship. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back, okay. In terms of winning the championship, I don't know what happened there. Skype's having a headache. In terms of losing the title, I think he will have it in 2016. I think he will lose it around Royal Rumble time. And the reason why I say that is because I firmly believe he's going to have a match against Triple H at WrestleMania. I think they've been building up for ages and still making small little tidbits that he's going to wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania. And that match, if you think about it, there's no reason why that should be a world title match, because the only way it could be is if Triple H wins the Royal Rumble and that if Seth Rollins is still the champion. So to me, it makes more sense that he loses it at the Royal Rumble, maybe because of Triple H, and then they have this slow build-up with him and his match against Triple H at WrestleMania. Then you've got the new champion, the rivalry with the winner of the Royal Rumble. Things just then start making sense, right? So I think Royal Rumble will be around about that time. Fuck it, I'll just go Royal Rumble. He will lose the championship at Royal Rumble. But I know that's a bold statement to make, but that's just what I'm guessing would be the case.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that.
You reckon Royal Rumble as well?
I don't think currently there's a feud where this is really bad because it's going to make me sound like an absolute hypocrite, because it's going to have to be one of those title losses that meant nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just sort of like, has it led to anything? Have we built up to this? No. So who's it going to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Just give him the title.
Yeah, basically, I tell you what, they're guilty of that sometimes, where they'll have a title, like a title picture, and what they'll do coming up to WrestleMania, because they have a plan, right, of what they want the matches to be. Then suddenly you'll start seeing people like almost swap rivalries. It's really odd what sometimes they do. Some years, I remember like the Miz was in like a rivalry with like Randy Orton, and literally just switched into one with John Cena just randomly. I think it was something like that randomly. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of that leading into Royal Rumble. They moved Elimination Chamber. I wonder if it'll be Fastlane next year, but Hell, we might even lose it at Fastlane. I'm just saying, I guessing it's Royal Rumble that he'll lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it all comes down to who. I don't know.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you who was going to win off it. Maybe I don't know. I certainly don't think Kane is winning it today anyway. Spoiler for our predictions, anyways, if that was one, but still. Vintage Punk says that they were wondering where the episode of our show was. Turned out they got unsubbed to the channel. It's a touch weird. What? I can promise you it wasn't on our end. We love you, Vintage Punk. You're vintage. We couldn't boot you. I didn't even realise you can boot people off of YouTube accounts. I know you can block them, but don't know. Glad you're back though. Don't know what happened.
I'm just like, no.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the same without you, Vintage Punk. So I'm glad that you're back with us. That's good. And then, as I said, there was a few more comments there talking about what we're going to name my faction. And who knows? I think we have to brainstorm it and maybe release the name of it, episode 100. I think that's probably the best plan to be going with that.
If you think that's the way to go.
That's the way to go. I think it is. Matt, you picked the report card this week.
I did.
Would you like to take it away? Alexa Bliss is on our report card.
Yeah. Well, considering she's now getting herself into the NXT title picture,
yeah,
I figured, why the hell not?
Yeah. Sounds about right. Sounds about right to do that. I'll let you go first then, Matt. What were you thinking about Alexa Bliss?
Recently, I think it's recently, but regardless. I'm still kind of a fan of Bliss. I still think she needs work. However, her time with the Dubstep Brigade.
Dubstep Twins, yeah.
I think that's actually done her some good.
Yeah, she's the one that's profited from that, ironically. So, yeah.
Quite a bit more than what they really have.
Yeah, I tell you one of the things that it's almost like they've been relegated to valet duty for her, right? Does it get that way?
For her, yeah,
definitely.
I mean, especially with how her entrance went this week, where it's just sort of like, oh, you can lift me. I am, I'm here. You're here to help me, sort of thing.
Yeah, she's the boss of the group, which they were even getting that over when they were the champions. That she was the one pulling the strings and everything like this, So my thing with Alexa Bliss, I echo a lot of your statements that she's probably one of the most ready to be the new challenger. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a contender, you certainly couldn't go wrong with Alexa Bliss, and I do think that she's for what it's worth, I think she's ready, right? And
yeah, I mean, the thing is, I can't think of many other women on the current sort of women's division of NXT that you could put in that position yet. Like, okay, yeah, there are girls that are far better wrestlers, Asuka.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think she's title ready.
Well, she's still in the business of educating the fans of who she is, right?
That's what she's still currently doing.
Yeah, same with Nia Jax as well, right? I thought the reason why we thought Nia Jax would come out and lay out Bayley after the match at Takeover is because it does lead into. I mean, it's basically going the Kevin Owens treatment, but because she's debuted, not going against the champion, more than likely they're going to go onto a education couple of months.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alexa Bliss is fine. I tell you what, the position that she's in, though, Matt. Remember when Becky Lynch was in this position where she wasn't fully established over with the fans yet? They didn't see her as a proper, I wouldn't say contender, but they didn't see her as a big star in NXT. But yet she had that match with Sasha Banks and she secured herself. It was her coming out, right? It was her big moment. That's what's on the table for Alexa Bliss. If she can have an awesome match against Bayley for the title,
I reckon they could. I reckon they could. I wouldn't say as far as they can have an awesome match. They can have a good match.
But yeah, but
hell, it's going to be better than whatever we're going to get on the main roster.
Yeah, No, that's the bottom line of it. But it's now Alexa Bliss's time to establish herself in the vein of all the women that come above her. All of them had that moment. Charlotte had that moment, right, against Natalia. You had Sasha Banks had that moment, right, against Charlotte, right, and it all kind of seems to go before, right. This is Alexa Bliss's chance, to
Yeah.
looked at in that.
And then then like Sasha proved herself against Charlotte.
Bailey
against Sasha, yeah.
That's it, right? And they all became big names. And
well, even then, I think Becky, even though she lost to Sasha, I think that was her.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, it was
awakening.
People looked at her differently after that match than when they did before. Yeah. That's what's on the table for Alexa Bliss. So everyone, we're patiently waiting for her to make her mark. Now is the time. You've been given the opportunity. Show us what you can do when the chance comes. What's your grade for Alexa Bliss then, Matt?
I will give her a B.
I went for a B+.
I think it needs a bit of fine tuning, and then she'll be good.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more to say. I gave her a B+ because I'm looking more in the potential. I do firmly believe that she's got what it takes to be a big player, and she is one of those few people that if you were put on the main roster, as bad as the Divas Revolution is, she would fit in quite well because she is a pin-up model, right? She is one of those people, but she's not exactly along those lines. She's, a very good-looking girl, but I think she caters to a lot of different demographics, shall we say. That's probably a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
But she's a great heel. Really good heel. James Storm. We're not grading him. We're just telling you all about his debut, because it happened this week. He hasn't performed any other shows apart from this one, but we wanted to talk about it because I do believe he will be doing more work with WWE going forward.
I was going to say that he must be, because you can't have your debut match against whoever the hell it was. I've already forgotten.
It was Martin Stone. They're calling him now Danny Burch. You may have actually remembered him being part of the TNA boot camp. He wasn't one of the final ones selected, but he was actually on that show.
No.
Did you watch TNA boot camp?
I
showed you a bit of it, didn't I?
I watched a few episodes.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Yeah. Just the fact that we knew some of the people on that show was... I won't go into that, but still.
Hey, we know some people who at least made it to, because there was, what was it? They had what phases was it? So you had the first one, which was just like whether they bring you back for the afternoon thing, wasn't it? I know people who came back for the afternoon.
Yeah. We're flaunting our contacts out there a little bit, just the way it is.
And then people who didn't.
Let's not go into that anyway. But yeah, it's basically this is a guy, by the way, who if you remember from that TNA boot camp, he was he said there that he was doing wrestling for WWE and they didn't think he was good enough. He called them that company, World Wrestling Entertainment and stuff like that. He seemed like a very driven guy. Oh, people thinking that we're talking about this guy. We will get to James Storm in a minute, but I just want to talk about him, Martin Stone, for a little while. Yeah, obviously now he's working back with WWE, and I do hope, because he seems like a genuine guy, so I do hope he gets more work. He's doing a lot of jobbing work for WWE at the moment. That's a foot in the door, at least. So James Storm, he looks in great nick. Thought he was in good condition. He came out, fans were shocked, because obviously at that point they didn't know that James Storm was making their debut, Just a big shock for everyone involved. Don't know about you, Matt. I thought James Storm looked like he looked just right at home in NXT. Looked like he that should be his place where he plies his trade.
What was the chant that the crowd were dishing out?
You belong here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I can't disagree. I thought he looked the part.
Yeah.
Hasn't missed much of a beat since parting with TNA, has he not? He's always
The thing I found quite funny, like, people are getting outraged over this, and I don't understand why.
Go on.
It's sort of like, they were like, oh, he's been in WCW, and now he's, and after that he spent 15 years in the independents.
Yeah.
And loads of people are losing their shit.
As if this is the first time that WWE has refused to acknowledge TNA. Right.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, nobody's even hinted at the fact, where did Samoa Joe come from? He just appeared.
Yeah.
Like, We looked outside the Performance Center doors one day, and there was a Samoa Joe in a basket.
Yeah.
No, we took him on.
Oh, look at WWE so good for taking on this Samoan.
Like little orphaned Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's it. Where's he been? Don't know. Probably the Indies, shall we say. I think people are getting annoyed about it, and it's a little bit like, really? You're getting annoyed now about it? You're not going to get...
I was going to say, but they were like, they mentioned WCW because they own WCW.
Exactly, right? The minute they buy out TNA's fucking tape library and TNA's dead,
Then
they
they'll
will
say they were in TNA.
Yeah, that's the minute that they will go, yeah, sure, TNA existed. So what? Like, you know what I mean? This is business, guys.
No, like, what do you want us to do about it?
Like, listen, the way it is, the WWE look at it, and it's the right way to look at it. Any time they say TNA, any time that they make any reference to TNA, it's helping TNA, right? Because it gives them added exposure. And WWE aren't in the business that much of doing business. I know they're doing stuff with Evolve, but really, is Evolve, or when they make references to the New Japan Pro Wrestling, are they really going to damage WWE? Not really, right?
I mean, all they're doing for Evolve is just like, this is a wonderful place to fish talent from.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Why do you think not long after, like, Sammy went there, all of a sudden WWE's got like 5 people that you'd expect to see in WWE.
Yeah.
So like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's it. And you know they got their eyes on Gargano and Ciampa, and I know they do some work with Evolve as well, right? They were showing plenty of Evolve footage of Apollo Crews, right? Of him being there in those video packages he was using.
Yeah.
But even like people might go, oh, but Tony, you've said before that TNA holds absolutely no threat to WWE. Well, they don't now, but it doesn't mean that WWE are going to change their minds just because TNA are not doing anything good at the moment and their viewership is in the tank. They're just sticking to what their philosophy has been all along, which is just don't reference them, right? It's just the way that they're going about it. If you don't get annoyed about it now, it's been happening for years, right? So that's the only thing with that. But yeah, I thought James Storm was brilliant here. He had like a thing on extra on the their WWE.com, and when he had an interview there, that was awesome.
There's We Are NXT t-shirt,
yeah, that's it. He's a great fit for them, and if I were WWE, I would sign this guy up, and the amount of influence that he could impart upon some of the younger guys that do have maybe more longevity planned on them would be good. You know, and James Storm is one of those guys. You put him up on the main roster if you want to. Not saying that really that's the best thing for him. I think being NXT and touring with them is the best idea. But if you were to put him on the main roster, he's hugely serviceable up there. You do a great job for you. So, yeah, good stuff. And by the way, if you ever want a heel that can get the job done, just go to James Storm. He can get the job done for you. So, awesome for James Storm. And tell you what, I really enjoyed watching him on NXT this week. Matt, are you ready for our Raw review for the Go Home show for Hell in a Cell?
Oh, can we just reference one last thing?
Go on.
I'm really fucking sick of these Eva Marie video packages.
Oh, the Paris ones.
Oh, hello! I mean, like,
she doesn't fucking say that.
It's like, hello! It's like, I'm in Mexico. It's just sort of like, bonjour, I'm in Paris, but don't worry, WWE Universe, I'll be back soon. It's like, I'm really not missing you, don't worry.
Stay in Paris, it's fine. We'll pay for you to stay there a little bit longer.
So, the longer you're there, the better.
Yeah. Well, to be honest though, she's a heel. If it gets that response, I'm guessing they're going the right way around it, really. But
I don't care. I'm not gonna get one over, like, unless this match where they were like, where the crowd was starting to chant like "You're learning" or something. Yeah. I will never be that person.
Yeah, you're just done. Yeah.
Just Eva Marie can just fuck off, and when she gets there, she can fuck off some more.
I just think that she's an accident and a mistake waiting to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen with her. I just think it's in her. Some people just don't get it, and I think that she's one of those people. But let's not talk about Eva Marie for another half an hour as we've done in the past and highlighting all the multiple issues. Let's talk about Raw. Go Home show for Hell in a Cell, and they brought out the stars. I'm looking at the likes of Ric Flair, Brock Lesnar, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin making his first appearance in 4 years on Raw. So they're putting out the cards, are they not?
Shit, our ratings are tanking.
Yeah.
This does sort of make me think back to that picture, where it's just sort of like, oh no, what can we do that worked previously? Bring on the 90s!
Yeah, essentially, right? WWE playing out their cards of when things were just going a little bit better for them, right? And that's how they did here. They went they went big dick on their legends, and they just showed out for everyone to see. And yeah, that's pretty much them trying to mend these ratings disasters that they subjected themselves to. The show emanated from Dallas, Texas, which is the stomping ground for WrestleMania next year, in that big stadium, which I am looking forward to the visual of almost 100,000 people in Dallas, Texas, in that stadium for WrestleMania. So should be big. Michael Cole welcomes us to Raw, and we're straight after that welcome, a familiar glass shatters. And for once, Matt, someone comes out at the start of the show and the fans erupt, explode for him. It just happens to be Stone Cold himself.
I was going to say, Lesnar gets that response.
Oh, well, yeah, but not as much as Austin got here. Come on. It's Austin.
No.
It's Austin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, come on. We see Brock Lesnar, I wouldn't say quite a lot, but a lot more than we'd see Austin around.
I was going to say, we see Lesnar infrequently.
Yeah. Austin never, right? So it's quite a big thing to see him. Now, just to address, last week we said that we didn't think he would be on the show. Clearly, we were wrong. Regardless of that, to kind of defend ourselves in a bit, the way that they used Austin on this show, I was a little bit underwhelmed with their creativity on how to use Stone Cold on this show. So
yeah,
basically what he does, he comes out, he's playing to the crowd really well. He's talking very quickly, though. I don't know if you noticed that, Matt. He's talking at a rate that could match Turbo Tony on Let's Talk Wrestling.
Of that sumbitch.
Yeah, that's it. Or that handsome man, maybe you could say. Maybe that's another way to say about that. That host is pretty good, I hear. He's pretty good, but still. I like the way that you stay quiet all the way through that, Matt. Thank you very much.
Oh no, I just quite like the fact. Like, I still sort of thinking on. I really like the fact that Austin was just like, "Oh, how are we going to do this on this bitch?" And it's like, "Oh, WWE." He swore.
Oh, he said bitch. They love the word bitch on Raw nowadays. Don't they?
The thing is, they can't decide whether they like
yeah,
bitch or not.
They don't really know whether they do or not. Yeah. But yeah, he's either he's nervous or basically he's just against wasting our time.
I'm pretty sure he's not nervous.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get through the promo. But he can take all the time he needs, really. He plugs his podcast with Lesnar and then introduces The Undertaker, and that is it.
Yeah. Farewell, Stone Cold.
By the time Undertaker's gong had hit, Austin was gone. Right? He was out. He was gone.
Yeah.
So I think, Matt, it's pretty easy for everyone to see that. You can tell that this particular promo probably wasn't planned. It was probably pitched to Austin as soon as he arrived there for the podcast. And he was like, oh, okay, if you pay me for it, sure. So, yeah, like a 5-minute promo was written up there, and he was sent on his ass out there to go and introduce The Undertaker. So I would have done it a lot differently. I would have had him call out Undertaker and talk about the match, have a back and forth between them. Considering the history between Austin and Taker, Austin say, look, I fought against you, I know what type of guy you are, but this is Brock Lesnar. Do you really think that you want to step in Hell in a Cell with Lesnar? Have a backwards and forwards between them, but no.
Why would they do that? That's silly.
I mean, like I said, I was shocked. I thought, okay, he's going to introduce Taker. Taker's going to get in the ring. Taker's going to talk to Austin. We're going to have this really cool moment. Austin, Taker in the same ring again. Maybe they could tease a match, maybe something along those lines. No, Austin was like gone. As soon as that gong hit, he was out of there, right? So,
I mean, he didn't even have a beer.
Yeah, right?
The fuck?
I know, right? Oh well. Taker says some stuff about hell and heaven. He could bear. I don't know what it was, to be honest.
To be fair, if you've heard, this is one thing I'm loving is the fact that they're putting all their eggs in a basket and just like, look how great the fucking story is, and you're gonna love it. But it's no different from any old Taker promo we've ever heard.
Yeah, you know what to expect, right? I kind of tuned out a little bit there because I was trying to look around. Where's Austin? Where's he gone? I don't know what I was doing. So, but yeah, he could barely talk anyway before Lesnar decides. You know what? I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna sort this out. Heyman talks down Undertaker's victory at SummerSlam and says Taker lusts over revenge with Lesnar. I had a weird thought
Ooh.
of Taker going all gold dust over visions of beating Lesnar. Yeah, exactly. We just with the image of him pinning Lesnar to the mat, but still.
The worst part is I've just got like old Blackadder. It's like I want to cover you in pepper and sneeze all over you.
Okay. Shameless pay-per-view plot. I think we walked into one there. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, we set that one up.
Taker says when you take everything from a man, that man ends up fighting with nothing to lose. And he calls down Lesnar with his fingers as much as his padded gloves would let him. It kind of looked like he was having a problem with his hands there, but still.
Bit cramped in there.
Yeah, exactly. Lesnar backs away from a stare down. They stare down with as much sexual tension as Billy and Chuck would, Taker was thinking about those Goldust-like visions. They should probably just have sex and get it over with at this point, Save a Hell in a Cell match, Make love, not war. That's what we advocate for.
That's it.
So, although it would make Paul Heyman...
Make love, not sell matches.
That's it, right, I just remember that kayfabe news article of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman get married, and it's just a picture of them like married, fucking arches and all this shit. It's brilliant, awesome. WWE basically, as I said, they went big dick. They put their best foot forward with their show, showed them how big it is. Look how awesome it is. Oh, isn't it great? 3 of our biggest stars at the start of the show. The problem is WWE were then forced to rely on their ordinary booking for the rest of the show. What a frightening notion that is.
I don't know.
But it's still a few legends left in their canon. So.
Well, no, there's that's not what I'm thinking.
Okay, we'll get to that soon. I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll get there soon. I watched my show so early this week because I had a game release and I knew I wasn't going to watch Raw at the end of the week, so... Cena...
I must get this out the way.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah. Cena and the Dudleys versus The New Day. And Big E tells us before the match that everything in Texas is booty. Yes. By the way, I've been going around saying everything in my life is booty. I don't know why. I've just been saying it.
All of a sudden, it's booty. Yeah. It's bootylicious.
Yeah. Do you think our show is booty?
I would assume that I would like to think that our show is booty.
Yeah. Okay. So there is that. Don't quite understand really what if booty is a good or bad thing. I guess it depends on the context of saying said booty. So, but we're big fans of booty here on this show. Let it be known. Let it be known. Big fans of Naomi, who harbours the majority of the booty on this show. So there is that. Kofi shows them the trombone that they use to batter the faces of the faces 2 weeks earlier. Did you see what I did there? And shockingly says the swear word ass.
That son of a bitch.
These New Day brethren were strongly advising him against saying that. In a world where bitch is okay, well sometimes, and ass isn't. Matt, do you want to live in that sort of world?
That world is not my world.
That world isn't booty. Yeah.
That is not booty indeed.
That is not booty. It's hilarious, these situations where Big E can gyrate his body on command. No one can stop Big E's hips when they move. It's mesmerizing. It's special, shall we say. So, what do you think about Big E's gyrating? Are you a big fan of his gyrating?
The Big E hips.
The Big E hips.
It's almost like the Big E booty.
Yeah. He's working it. He's working it, Matt. He's really working it. So you've got to give him that. There's something there. I thought this match was fairly decent. Some good action to start off the show. Well, the first match of the show. Xavier Woods gets the better of Devon and then rolls him up, Matt. What move does he think? But he's got the legendary Dudleys, and what move does he think can beat these legendary wrestlers? Do you think maybe it was?
It could only be.
It can only be one.
The most devastating move.
The most devastating finishing move
in the entire arsenal.
Yeah.
Of wrestling.
Only move that could beat him. The schoolboy. Schoolboy?
The schoolboy!
I can't even say it. That's
so
how powerful it
it's
is.
warped your mind.
Yeah, right. The schoolboy roll-up pin. There you go. I've got it there. I survived saying it, but I was fairly close there. So he beats him using that. The Faces, by the way, being ever as gracious in defeat that they are, which they lost fair and square, attack the New Day and then drive Woods through his third table. I think it's a safe assumption that the Dudleys don't like Xavier Woods.
Yeah, I think it's a safe assumption.
I missed his overselling, though, a little bit. I will say that.
Where he just complete, flatboarded it, just shit.
His first one was he'd been electrically shocked. I missed that. I think you should do that all the time.
After you got power, but no, because was in an electric shock from.
That was from the first one, yeah.
That was a 3D through the table.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, no, I will completely agree that it's gorgeous.
So yeah, this Big E, Xavier Woods, going through his third table, and it's the sort of Dudleys have taken him, to a liking into putting him through tables. It's a sort of favoritism that involves broken wood being implanted in his bum. So
that's it.
I don't like how that came out, and I don't think neither, will Xavier Woods will, come to think of it. Wood coming out of the buttocks is quite sore. He's getting used to it at least, so there is something there. There is something to be said about Xavier Woods. So maybe he'll walk right one day. Commentary reveal that Randy Orton is injured. So the match they had spent time plugging last week, involving him and Ambrose against the Wyatts, is pulled. That's not happening anymore.
Nope, that's that done.
Yeah. So with Cena leaving for about 6 weeks and Orton injured for a little while, WWE are bound to feel the sting of not having their new stars that they should have created over the last couple of years. But who am I to say that? To be honest, I've said it quite a bit.
I was going to say, how dare you suggest that such a thing?
I know, right?
What do you mean WWE don't know what they're doing?
What do I think? I'm just a simple podcaster. I don't know shit. So
that's it.
There you are. Renee Young speaks to her boy Dean Ambrose. Ambrose lays out a challenge to Strowman and Harper for a match tonight instead. He says he'll fight them. Doesn't matter. If he gets beaten up, he'll just do it anyway. So Dean Ambrose putting on his big boy pants this week. So Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella. Yeah. Funny thing this, Matt, don't know if you noticed this, but the majority of the build-up for the Divas Championship match at Hell in a Cell hasn't actually involved the Divas Champion and the contender.
And why should it?
Yeah. It's a bit weird, isn't it? You normally, when they did that big build-up between Sasha Banks and Bayley for the NXT Championship,
So you mean the week-long build-up, the stories they... No. So wouldn't it be much better if they just never noticed? You're a crazy person.
Yeah, I think it's actually quite funny that the majority of this whole build-up has been Team Bad, who isn't involved in that match, against Team Bella. They've been doing this for about 3 weeks. So as far as we know, Team Bad aren't going to feature at the pay-per-view anyway. So where they're going with this, no idea. But they certainly aren't plugging up the title match. So, they've made some references to it. Charlotte is wrestling. She's wrestling Team Bella girls. But I don't know. It just seems a bit odd that they've been having this budding rivalry between Team Bad and Team Bella. And it's like, but Nikki's got a title match coming up. Surely you'd be building that up. But still.
No.
Matt, I thought this match was sloppy at times. Some of the moves were lacking polish and aggression. I don't know if you felt the same way, or did you just skip it?
I would completely agree. I did not skip this match.
I thought so. I was quite surprised how sloppy some of this was, to be honest.
Especially Sasha.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest person that was doing it was Naomi, if I'd say. Sasha wasn't to her usual greatness, but just, a little bit sloppy. But one thing I don't mind a match is being sloppy, but when it's lacking aggression and some of their hits look like Blue Pants when she does her strikes, it's a little bit... Need a little bit more impact, you know. When you slap these girls, you know, it reminds me of Sasha Banks in that match against Bayley at Brooklyn. You know, when she taunted her when Bayley was sitting down and then fucking walloped her in the face, and you could hear it. Didn't need to, like, you know, slap your leg for that to get heard around the crowd. She fucking smacked her. Yeah, we need a little bit more of that in this match, really. There's just a lack of aggression all around. But I'm convinced, Matt. I've come to the assumption that the main roster needs to draw their NXT card and have a pay-per-view title match with Sasha Banks and Charlotte.
Sort of like, oh, we've got this here, why are we not doing it?
Yeah. I
completely agree.
I think constantly involving and drawing focus on Nikki Bella is just a reminder. Even if she's not that bad, I mean, on the mic she's fucking horrific, but in the ring she's okay. But she's a reminder of all the shit we've had before the new girls came up. So the fact that she's been involved in
like
all
Nikki's,
these storylines.
like, it's sort of to think Nikki's a reminder of everything wrong.
Yeah, right? She's the figurehead of everything that people don't want from the Divas. So I think it's time to give her a break. You know, move her out of the title frame and really put the spotlight on these new girls. Put it on a match that you know already has worked and already is good, which is Sasha and Charlotte. That's a match you know it's going to be great, right? It's happened. They've already had 2 great matches on NXT against each other, so it's a sure thing, right? And having a kick-ass title match between the newer women is fresh. It's not a reminder of all the stuff.
Hell, you could even get away with just giving us a match of like against like Becky. Well, finally give Becky Lynch a chance to fucking wrestle.
Yeah, she's barely wrestled a match, guys. Really, like, honestly, her in-ring time has been severely cut down. I actually feel bad for Becky Lynch because she had her big match with Sasha Banks, which was her like coming out. She showed everyone what she can do on the big stage. And then literally the Divas Revolution stuff happened pretty much straight after that, if you remember. So she's barely wrestled that much since that match that she had with Sasha all that time ago. I mean, this is a long time ago we're talking about now. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but still, I think Sasha and Charlotte, that's where they need to go. That's the key. And hopefully they're moving things aside to eventually get to that point, but still. HBK comes on out. WWE are blowing their Legends load in the first half of the show. They couldn't wait. If they went big dick on us, then they're not very long in the bedroom before they finish up their stuff. Well, actually, no, they go on for 3 hours. Maybe they're just... There is some sort of euphemism in this. I don't really know how to carve it out yet, but... I'm sure someone...
We will find the way.
He steals some kid's pizza on the way down to the ramp.
Yeah, prick.
And
complains about it.
Yeah, then complains about the pizza, right? He tells us that he's been in cages and cells, but nothing compares to Hell in a Cell.
I liked this because it was just typical, just Michael's comedy.
But
it's just sort of like, I've been in cages, I've been in cells, but that was a darker part of that was a few years ago. It was like...
Yeah. But Matt, you and me liked it. The crowd didn't. They were utterly dead.
Oh, fucking yeah. I don't know where they were.
They were absolutely dead by this point. He reminds us that he was in the very first Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker himself. And then he sells both Hell in a Cell matches. When he's selling these matches, the crowd goes absolutely mild. As in, they don't make any response whatsoever.
Don't give a shit.
It actually felt to a point, Matt, I don't know whether you thought this, when Seth Rollins came out, it felt like he was saving Michaels here a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It did feel that way. Like, obviously, he was doing fine. It's just like the crowd just didn't seem to connect, and it was a bit weird, but don't know. Rollins tells HBK that he didn't do his job. His job was to announce Rollins coming to the ring, in which case he would be the second of 3 legends who their job was only to announce other people coming down to the ring. Good way to use your legends, WWE, but still. So HBK says for years he's been told what to do and he forgets it all the time. I mean, come on, curtain call, right? You know? Probably wasn't told to do that and he just did it anyway. Got himself in some trouble. Well, actually, got Triple H in a fucking ton of trouble. Well, everyone else seemed to be okay, but Curtin Call. Okay, it's actually funny. You go back and watch the Triple H documentaries and him talking about Curtin Call. You can tell how much he feels gypped, Triple H, because they weren't gonna stick it to Shawn. He was the main drawing power of WWE at that point, right?
Yeah.
World champion. The reason why the Curtin Call happened was because Hall and Nash were going, so they couldn't be punished. So literally Triple H just got dicked on. He just got like piled on. So. It's actually really cool if you can find it. A really good promo where Triple H, just as he's coming out as like a world title candidate, right? He's coming into like the main event. He has like this interview with Jim Ross where he actually talks about being like shit on for the Curtain Call, and it's a really good promo. So if you guys can find it, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So Rollins says that he's a champion that takes on all comers and destroys them all, and he is HBK version 2. Now, Matt, when Rollins says he takes on all comers, I would not call his win-loss ratio, which is only rivaling Heath Slater, destroying all of his competition, right?
Yeah.
He has lost a fucking shit ton of matches. World champion, everyone, yeah? HBK says that he didn't worry about being the second version of someone. He was too busy becoming the best wrestler around. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Rollins. They're actually talking of that, elaborating that on a little bit. HBK was pretty cool when you look at him back there when he was drawing, when he was, young, right? And he was that star. He was making a name for himself. He really didn't come off as if he was emulating people. People didn't really at that time look at him and say, "Oh, the way he wrestles reminds me a lot of," he was.
Flair or
but he wasn't. He didn't wrestle like that. So he was. That was part of his allure. That he was quite unique in the way he wrestled at that time. I know a lot of their stuff is like Dynamite Kid, but that was people that he was wrestling against, stuff like this. So I don't know. Rollins calls him jealous because his moment at WrestleMania 31 eclipsed anything that Shawn did as Mr. WrestleMania. Then he asks for his music to leave, and it doesn't happen. Then Michael says, well, you've got a match with Ryback, and then hit my music. And of course it does go on because it's HBK, right? Obviously someone doesn't like someone at the computer there with the entrance music. It isn't a Seth Rollins fan, I'm guessing.
That's it. The guy on the CD player.
That's it. Matt, I liked this segment, but I didn't. Afterwards, I was a little bit like, it wasn't nearly as good as maybe I thought it was at the time. Looking back at it on retrospect, I just didn't feel as if I cared that much about really what was said and done here.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with you there.
The crowd certainly could have helped. I think it didn't deserve the lack of response.
The crowd essentially shat on the whole moment.
Yeah, they didn't chant against
sort of
it, but they didn't do anything.
HBK's there. That's cool. I'm going to pop like crazy for HBK. Why is he here? I don't care.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd. I will say it was a little bit odd, but still, they popped for him when he came out. Just when he started talking, everyone just went fucking silent. It was dead. It was awkward.
Yeah,
but,
it fell.
But still. So that leads into the match with Rollins and Ryback. And it frustrates me at this point, Matt. I realise, because commentary spent the first minute of this talking about Demon Kane and Corporate Kane, and they're actually acting as if they're two different people, right? It seems like they're convinced that Corporate Kane and Demon Kane are two completely different entities, right?
You mean they're not?
No, sorry, Matt, they're not. I know it's a big shocker to you.
What?
It's like me telling you that Santa isn't real.
Where am I going to get my presents this year?
Yeah, I know, right? Harsh stuff.
You're some sort of monster.
I am an evil bastard. This is what happens, Matt, when I host the show. People's dreams get shattered, okay? Alright? They were hoping that you would save them this week, but no, more dreams get shattered. More dreams. Maybe that's the name of the name of my faction, the people of shattered dreams. That's it, because I'm the leader of them. I'm Tony Dream Shatterer Turbo. Whatever it goes like that. So. Still, I tell you what was shocking about this match, though, Matt. Seth Rollins won.
I know, but he did kind of poke the eyes a little bit.
But Matt, doesn't matter. He actually won a match. I knew if the champ just stuck in there, you could get it. Good on you, champ. I knew you'd get there eventually. Come on. That's like his second win in like 2 months. That's awesome.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. He's done great. Yeah. Cool. But talking about that Kane thing, by the way, I can imagine someone turning on WWE, listening to them talking about, but it's not corporate Kane, and they're not talking about Demon Kane, and them going, you know what, this seems fucking stupid. I'm going to turn the channel.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I could imagine someone flicking the channel and being like, so wrestling is still like this. You know what, I'll go watch my sports. They're a hell of a lot more legitimate, you know? So,
yeah.
There is that. Excuse me. Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville versus Rusev, Sheamus, and Barrett. Now, bear in mind, this is the second six-man tag match on this show. WWE does love them a six-man tag match when they've got no ideas. They go to those six-man tag matches. I actually get the feeling, Matt, I don't know about you, that they witnessed the brilliance of the Shield and the Wyatts last year, and they just can't let go of the magic.
Yeah.
And it's like they've coddled this baby.
It. Especially considering, and we had, six-man tag matches with the Usos involved and things like that. It's like, they were good.
Yeah.
Remember when they were good?
Yeah, but now, all that magic has just gone sour. They've just done it too much. Well, they've taken this six-man tag match, which was just rising, beautiful, little puppy, and they've just suffocated it with all their love, and now it's just not the same anymore because it's dead. Yeah, Dream Shatterer. Yeah,
that's true.
I'm getting dark on this show. Yeah,
killing puppy.
That's a headline for you. You know, Tony kills metaphorical puppy. There you go. So, there you go. See what you did, Matt? See what you did?
Told you, man, you're a monster.
Yeah, I'm a monster. This is an okay match. Wasn't that interesting. Sheamus clocks Neville with a bro kick on the outside, and Barrett gets the pin. That's the third pin loss for Neville on 3 weeks of Raw. So make of that what you will. This is almost 2 hours into the show, Matt, and I was shot at this point.
Yeah, I could have called it a day.
Yeah. This is one of the few times this week where I watched Raw in one sitting, and whenever I do that, it's always the same. After 2 hours, I am just done. You know, I'm ready to call it quits. But alas, I didn't have time to do it in 2 sittings. I don't know how people do it on a weekly basis, watching 3 hours of Raw in one sitting. I don't know how people do it. At this point, there was nothing else in the world that there was everything else in the world I would rather do than watch Raw. I would have done anything in the world.
Yeah.
But alas, I had to continue. And it wasn't as if Raw was painful this week. It was just too long. It was 2 hours at that point. I was like, okay, I'm ready to do something else. Nope. You've got an extra hour. There you go.
It's like I'm ready to do something else. It gets to a point sometimes where it's like, I need to do something else.
Yeah. You know. So Ric Flair's music hits, and I'm like popped up, and I'm like, oh, it's Ric Flair. Awesome. Okay. And he's already in the ring, so that kind of defeats the point of entrance music.
Ric Flair jobs. Yeah, Ric Flair takes the jobber entrance.
Yeah, that's it. But fuck it, he's the Nature Boy. He'll be fine. He tells us that WrestleMania is in Dallas, and it's going to be the biggest thing ever, because obviously everything's bigger in Texas, of course. He also announces that Ambrose will be teaming with Reigns tonight, and upon hearing his name, Roman Reigns comes on out.
You rang.
Yeah, and literally, as soon as Reigns comes out, guess what, Matt? Guess what Ric Flair does?
He fucks off.
He fucks off? Yeah, he was there just to announce Roman Reigns. That's the third, by the way, legend that they had on this show that was there just to announce someone else coming out. So, yeah. The Wyatts then appear, and like I said, Ric Flair, maybe he was in a competition with Austin to see who could get their shit done quickest and leave the arena.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that was it.
But I think, Austin clearly won. But I think it's because the crowd wouldn't let Flair win.
Yeah, that's it. They kept him there.
Because he stood there for so long and just sort of smirking, and everyone's still doing the Mexican woo.
Yeah.
It's just circling around the arena, just like, woo! Oh, it's coming back again, woo!
I wonder if they did that, and if you get 10,000 people to do that in an acoustic hall, how long the woo would reverberate around the fucking thing.
Be great.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Someone does that now, that would be awesome. I would definitely join in on that just to see how long. So when the Wyatts appear, Matt, I don't know if well, obviously you did notice, Harper is gone. Just Rowan.
Like, how can I not notice?
Yeah, just replaced. Just there.
Just all of a sudden, there's a great big ginger beard.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So, yeah, Harper's gone. Rowan's just back in there, just magically, by the way, just there. Reigns calls Wyatt into the ring. They sit across from each other. And Reigns says that Wyatt is scared to be trapped in Hell in a Cell with him. And then he fights them off with a steel chair. I'm making it seem a lot worse than it was. I actually like this segment. Maybe a lot more than most people did. I thought it was a good visual because they did all the lights, the Wyatt lighting. And then Reigns was very much like, he was being a bit of a dick to Wyatt. You know, he was pushing him around, prodding him, getting in his face. And
it's
whenever,
like, let me get you a chair.
Yeah, I mean, whenever Reigns, funny enough, whenever Reigns is acting like a little bit like an arrogant bastard, I tend to like him a lot more, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I think it might be because it's Reigns being who Reigns is meant to be.
Yeah, ass kicker Reigns, right?
Yeah.
You'd imagine Reigns here, just absolutely not going to take any more shit with Wyatt, so he's pushing him around, pressing his buttons, see what he's going to do. What are you going to do, big man? You're going to fight me? Well, I'll kick the shit out of you. So go on, try it. That's the sort of thing that I felt this was going. But still, I thought that using these legends that they did for buffers for these segments was a massive waste. I thought you could have done a lot more with these guys. Especially as they're all good promos, right?
Yeah,
but
it's all solid.
Still. The Authority is chatting to themselves backstage. HBK jumps in and says Rollins should go to the main event to level out the match, a Shield reunion for the night. And then Triple H is like, no, I'm here to protect him. And Rollins says, I don't need protecting, so I'll stop the show with Reigns and Ambrose tonight. So it sets it up. Talking of that, the magic from a Shield and Wyatt 6-man tag match, we're getting some more back. I won't lie, Matt. Even I knew this wasn't really going to happen, not for real. Just feeling that Shield brilliance for a little bit, just a little enticing second. It felt
good. The thing
good.
is, I was like, can we at least get like a triple powerbomb?
Yeah,
or something.
Just at least something like that. Yeah. But yeah, listen, I knew where this was going, but I was like, oh come on, just the magic of the Shield, just for one night. I'm sure we will get it, but tonight wasn't meant to be that night, and I'm not annoyed at that. You knew where it was going, but one of these nights, Matt, it's going to fit. All the pieces are going to fit into place. We're going to have a Shield reunion for the night, and it's going to feel so good. That's all I can say.
That's true.
Charlotte versus Brie Bella. Remember, Brie Bella had pinned the I can't even get through that, to be honest. That's Brie Bella pinning Charlotte last week. Still not quite over that, to be honest, but still.
It still sits a bit awkwardly, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Found this match quite dull, I have to say. I think maybe it was just the placement of the show in general.
I think it might be Brie Bella.
Yeah, to be honest, she's regressed. She regresses all the time. And her yes kicks, by the way, I said this before, I hope Daniel Bryan cringes as much as the rest of us do when she does that.
It's the only time that she's ever truly over.
Yeah, when she's piggybacking off him, yeah.
Yeah, when she's doing essentially other people's moves.
I don't know. With Brie Bella, I'm just... You go back and you watch her, round about when she was having those matches with Stephanie, right? And
do you know what the thing is? Like, WWE recently put that in, like, one of their top 10 women's matches of all time.
What's funny about that is that it was Stephanie who made that match, not Brie Bella, right?
Yeah, completely, 100%. Yeah.
But, you look at Brie Bella and look, come on, Matt, let's be honest, we're not big Bella fans, but I think everyone can agree, Brie Bella is far better than what she's doing right now.
You mean you're not a member of the Bella Army?
No, certainly not. But come on, like I said, you can admit this, like, we're not fans of the Bellas, but we can say that she's been better. She is much better than what she's showing. She's just regressed so much, and she looks like a shell of a woman that she used to be. And that is a bit sad, to be honest.
I thought it was quite funny. I saw a sort of a picture, like a meme or something. But it was of, like, a whole load of circle, like, round holes, but like a square block. And it's like still doesn't look as out of place as this, and it shows pre-Bella stood in the ring.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. But I'm just quite shocked. If Charlotte wins this match, by the way, they aren't going to fucking help their Brie Bella pin her again. I'll go fucking ballistic. But I don't know about you, Matt. Like, did you watch this show in one sitting, or did you do it multiple?
I did it in multiple.
Yeah. I watched it in one go. By this point, I was just like, I was dead. So I think maybe it's partly the placement of the show and Brie Bella in general, right? So, yeah, this month, by the way, this build-up, this month of being a champion for Charlotte hasn't exactly been all maybe that we hoped it would be. But still, hopefully it'll get better. Renee Young is right on hand to interview Paige after this match. Paige is insisting that PCB is still a thing. She denies...
Suddenly Jesse Raphael?
Yeah, this one, yeah. Suddenly, by the way, that Renee Young decides that she's going to be a cutting-edge journalist. A hard-hitting cutting-edge journalist. And she just gets all up in Paige's face. She's like, no, I'm not taking that. Come on, it is you. You attacked Natalya on SmackDown, as if anyone really cares what happens on SmackDown, but still.
It's like, why are you being of such accusations? Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Paige says that it could be Caitlyn, Eve Torres, Trish Stratus, or even Alundra Blaze. That would be quite a shock, actually, if Alundra Blaze was making...
If it was Alundra Blaze that attacked Natalya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renee is insistent. I mean, she's basically calling around. Says, it's you. Of course it's you. And as you say there, she calls her back.
Bullshit. Yeah. It's like, you did it.
So, this is the big twist. Renee Young did it. Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to pin it on Paige. Yeah. But I don't know what got into Renee Young this week. Jeez. Like, she's always about wishy-washy questions, all about feel-good questions, and never follows up on anything.
And now all of a sudden, it's just sort of like proper hard-hitting.
Yeah, she's suddenly like a cutting-edge journalist. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Maybe she just isn't a fan of Paige, so she decided that she was going to take out her frustration.
Fuck you, bitch. I have questions.
Yeah, and I'm not taking no for an answer. So, Mark Henry and Kevin Owens had a match. Mark Henry, by the way, showing off his jobbing prowess in his home state. So, you know what to expect here. Pop-up powerbomb and a win. I will say, though, the visual of Henry being powerbombed was pretty impressive.
Is good.
I will give Owens that. But come on, it's Mark Henry. I mean, to be honest, guys, I didn't want to say this because it would have been a bit awkward. I've already pinned him twice over the course of this episode. It's really awkward.
Yeah.
Matt, you must have pinned him a few times as well, right?
I think I did it earlier.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. Ryback comes down, lays out the champion with the help of the Texan jobber himself. And, by the way, this is interesting news. Did you know this? You know that, that adorable Bayley fan that's in NXT, you know, Izzy?
Izzy?
Yeah. She had a very unfortunate accident the other day. She tripped over, and she pinned Mark Henry a couple of days ago. So, so Izzy had pinned Mark Henry as well. Which, you know, it's inspiring.
Terrible.
You know, are you quite happy for Izzy for pinning Mark Henry?
Of course.
Yeah. She's got a better win-loss ratio than Seth Rollins. That's something to be said. So, yeah. Renee Young speaks to Rollins backstage. By the way, this cutting-edge journalism had stopped right here.
Pretty quick.
Back to the wishy-washy shit. It says he says that he's only teaming up with his former Shield brethren to prove HBK and Triple H that he's the man. I'm like, come on, Rollins, you love nostalgia too. Just accept it. Shield is love. Shield is life. Anyone seen Shrek is love? Shrek is life.
I refuse to mention the reference.
Yeah, let's leave it at that, shall we say? Before people come up with some very interesting fan fiction involving the Shield. Yeah. So, my father came in and called me a cunt. People must not know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Me a faggot.
I've given you enough to go and look at the Shrek stuff. So there you go. Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns versus the Wyatt family. And I do like how they played off the awesome angle where the Shield and the Wyatts stood face to face in battle back when they had that match. And they did the angle just before then. But now Rollins, obviously, he's changed. He's hesitant to do the same thing. But he does match up to him. But then he's like, no, we're going to have a proper match here, which obviously showing the change of
like,
Rollins.
no, everyone get back.
Yeah.
I'll deal with this. I am the champion.
Yeah, that's it.
I thank you very much.
I thought it was a good match. This one, Rollins realizes that he's in quotations tweaked his leg, and he decides to go get it checked out. That was the last you've seen of Rollins. Strowman has his chokehold on Reigns. Ambrose grabs a kendo stick and then hits him with it, so that's a DQ. By the way, this was the third six-man tag match of the night. Just want to add that in there. Reigns does a dive, Matt, over the top rope while this brawl is going on. That is just, you have to see it. It's spectacular.
I think he's been getting lessons off Jimmy.
Yeah, right? You know, like, he cleared that top
proper
rope.
Uso dive.
He cleared it easy. It's a dead jump. That is hard to do. It's a dead jump over the top rope, and he clears it easy, right? Reigns is no small guy, right? He's a heavy guy. But man, that's just a bit of a testament to his athleticism that he can just clear that top rope with such ease, and he looks like a fucking mad barbarian as he does it.
Yeah.
It's an awesome visual. So he then takes out Bray and Rowan with a spear, and they end the show standing tall with Ambrose and I was about to say Rollins, but no, I'm getting that wrong. Ambrose and Reigns ending the show standing tall. So I thought, all in all, Matt, I thought this was an okay show. I thought it could have been a lot more. I think it was a bit of a waste. Some of the star power on the books, you look at that, Austin, Flair, HBK, you're looking at some of those guys and you think, you could have done a little bit more with them there, I think, you know? Or is that just me? Or do you get that feeling as well?
We've had a lot less.
Yeah, true.
That's I guess one thing that I can happily take away from it. It could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. I get that. With me, I'm a little bit more like, come on, it could have been something really, really fun, but they didn't choose to go with that. They've gone hard on building up their main event, but I think the pay-per-view, unfortunately, is stacked full of matches that I think general fans will care very little about. I think you're talking about the Kevin Owens and your Rybacks, and even the pre-show, like, it's just a boring match, right? That's just been thrown together. Charlotte and Nikki Bella has barely had any build-up whatsoever. So there's a few of them there that really suffered, I think, but hell, I mean, come on. I mean, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar is a big drawing match, so no wonder they got the most.
That is the whole premise of the whole event, really.
Yeah, the whole build-up is that, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. But you know the one thing, I'll be glad when it's over.
Well, so they can move on to something else.
So I can stop seeing the same fucking 5-minute video segment.
Oh, what? Chapter 1? Yeah, Chapter 2. Yeah, it was good. But the WWE continually keep using the same video package, didn't they? So I'm not blasting their video production part.
Video production can't fault.
Yeah.
As always, perfect.
But you see something 10 times, you're bound to get a little bit annoyed about it. Yeah, that's it. Unless it's the Dusty Rhodes Memorial video, in which case I could watch that for hours and still have tears in my eyes just watching it over and over. And the I thought the Dusty Rhodes one was better than the Piper one, the video that they
easily
did. But even the Piper one was still excellent. Man, I could watch their Memorial videos for ages. So now we've got our Hell in a Cell predictions. We're going to give our predictions for the show that is happening tonight. And who knows? Maybe either myself or Matt will win this particular pay-per-view. I haven't been keeping count, but I always say I'm going to, and then I always end up forgetting. It's just too much work. Too much wrestling to watch. So we will have our review of this on the channel next week as well. Probably around, would you say about Thursday, Matt? We'll probably be up by then. Do you think?
Yeah, I think that'd be a safe bet.
I think it'll be around about then. Normally we do it around about Thursday, so gives us time to soak in the event, get our thoughts, get the aftermath, and just give us relative time to actually watch another 3 hours of wrestling before we watch another 3 hours of wrestling. So
yeah,
there is that. The pre-show match, Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville versus Rusev, Sheamus, and Barrett. Otherwise known as the Battle of the Mid-Card.
Yeah. It's so depressing.
Who do you think's getting the win, though?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to put a face over.
Yeah, I went with faces to win. But it doesn't matter at all who wins this match. It's completely and utterly inconsequential. really, who wins this match.
Yeah.
It's just throw the mid card against each other for a pre-show because we had no other ideas of what to do. That's essentially what it is. John Cena Open Challenge. We were talking about earlier on because obviously Cena is planned to go away after this event. He's going to go away for 6 weeks.
That's it.
Apparently he's going to go film a movie or he's doing like a reality show or something along those lines. So he isn't actually injured. He's just doing another project for a while. So
that's what it is.
That's interesting in and of itself that it's outside of WWE and he's taking time away from WWE to do it. That is interesting in itself. But here's the question. It's not really who he goes against and their chances. It's whether or not you think Vince is going to take his belt away because he's away for 6 weeks. Do you think he's going to do it?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that Vince is going to be it's fine. 6 weeks is fine. He can go away and he can't come back as a champion. I think John Cena will win this match and he'll just have his break and then come back. That's how I see it going down. It would have to be something like goes on for months and months and months for Vince to think, okay, I'm going to have someone beat John Cena for a challenge.
Okay, now you're taking the piss.
Yeah. So that's how I see it going. So yeah, John Cena will win. I do think he will wrestle Tyler Breeze. I think it'll be a great match. Good education for Tyler Breeze, but I don't think that Tyler Breeze is going to beat him.
One thing I've been seeing is just like people suggesting that this is how we get the Sami Zayn debut. I'm like, no.
No, I don't even think he's ready yet, is he? I think he still needs a month or two.
His return.
Yeah. I think he's got a month or two in his recovery. I'm not quite sure about that, actually, but I think he'll be back before WrestleMania, though, when he's Sami Zayn. I'm sure he is.
Well, the thing is, I quite like the thought of... I've heard this been thrown around, and I like this idea.
Okay.
You get Kevin Owens in the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens is still IC title, is IC champion. Who comes out at the Royal Rumble and eliminates Kevin Owens?
Yeah, Sami Zayn. Yeah. And then obviously that builds up to the IC title match, maybe at WrestleMania. At
Mania.
Yeah, that's probably something I'd go with. Sure. And gives him an extra couple of months to get ready. I mean, we're in October, so it gives him a couple of months. So, yeah. I think the time frames match up quite well, actually, if that's the case. So, yeah, sure. But, yeah, I do think that... talking of Kevin Owens, actually, we can talk about his match. You'd say that he's going to retain his belt against him?
Yeah, whoever it is.
Yeah, I think he retains, and then both men go in different directions from wherever they're going now.
What, are you on about the Cena match, or are you on about the...
No, the Owens-Ryback match.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, Owens too.
I completely agree as well.
Yeah, so... all on the same page so far.
Well, it's done. Let it be. I'm done with it.
Now, here's an interesting thing that I've changed my mind on. New Day versus the Dudleys.
Okay.
I want to explain. I said all along that I think the Dudleys are winning the championships at TLC.
So the Dudleys can be the Dudleys.
Yeah,
really?
At a TLC match and they're winning the belts there. However, I think that they're going to win the championships at Hell in a Cell. And the reasons why I think that is because they've already had tons of matches for the tag titles already with these teams. Dudleys have had a bunch of title opportunities already. I'd go with New Day to retain by cheating and forcing the TLC match at TLC, but there's been so many matches that I think now if they have another fuck finish, then it really causes a problem for building up this match. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Dudleys win this match, and then the rematch, the one that ends the rivalry, will be the TLC match, the one that ends the feud for good. So I'm actually going with Dudleys to win the tag titles here on this show.
I was going for the Dudleys to win in the first place.
Oh, so you're going with them. So they'll win their 10.
Yes.
So that's what I believe will happen. And if they don't do that, then I honestly think that they've really fucked up this build-up, because I think this is like the third title match the Dudleys have had. You know?
It's got to be.
Which means that their TLC match will be like their fourth, maybe even fifth. I mean, that's crazy right there. That's not good booking at all. But Charlotte versus Nikki Bella.
Charlotte, I don't care.
Dear God, do not let Nikki win this match. Only if WWE definitely doesn't want this revolution to go anywhere. So yeah, I'll go Charlotte to retain. I know I say every prediction, and I certainly don't think it will happen, but I hope this spells the end of the Diva factions. It won't, though, because I'm sure they're going with the Team Bad and Team Bella rivalry that will probably carry on. So I'm done with these teams, Matt. I barely liked them to begin with, and I hope that they end soon.
Completely agree.
That each woman goes for herself. Every woman is going for that belt, and there's no friends. There's only one champion. You know, can't be. You know, that's the one thing I don't like about Becky Lynch at the moment, right? She's just basically being the champion's best mate. Doesn't she want to be champion as well?
The champion's BFF.
Yeah. You know, that's. I'm not saying that she should go out and attack Charlotte, but surely she should be wrestling some matches trying to get into that number one contendership herself. No, just seems like she's happy just having Charlotte being champion. That's what's off to me. You know? Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt in Hell in a Cell. Go on, Matt. I'll let you go first. Who do you think's winning?
Reigns, because that's how Wyatt matches go.
The pattern of Wyatt. Wyatt gets a win, which he's had. Then the face comes back and wins 2 out of the 3 matches. Yep. And the rivalry reaches its end. So Roman Reigns, I'm going Reigns as well. And I imagine that what Wyatt will do after this match is what he does all the time. He'll act like it never happened. But we all remember it happened. That's the problem, and it damages his credibility when he doesn't ever make good on all of his wonderfully eloquent words about how
something went bad. No, nothing went bad.
Once I defeat you, Undertaker, I'll be the new face of fear. Loses against Undertaker, I am the new face of fear. It's that sort of shit. You know, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I expect that Wyatt will never say the words Roman Reigns for about a couple of months, and he'll just forget that this rivalry ever happened once he loses it. So that's how it's going to go. Seth Rollins versus Kane for the World Championship.
Rollins.
Yeah, Rollins as well. I think it will following the same paradigm as when Bryan won the belt, just with the face and heel roles reversed. Kane is just the next rival for Rollins. He's not his conqueror by any means, and as I said, I think Rollins is going to lose his belt at Royal Rumble. So yeah, I think he'll retain and he'll go into the new year as champion. I think that's how it will eventually end up. So I tell you what though, Matt, this may shock a few people. I think some people would be against it. I'm not completely against Kane winning this match and being world champion.
I'm not, but I don't care.
Yeah, that's part. I mean, the fact
this is just another thing where it's just like, yeah, you can have the number one contendership. Okay, what have you done to earn it? Well, I have to earn it.
Yeah.
I have to earn number one contender? Yeah. Oh, fuck off.
No one ever earns number one contendership, Matt. They just get, they're basically, like I said, Matt, you still want that world title match. Shit in his travel bag, and you got it.
Yeah.
That's how you have to do it. So, Matt for WrestleMania. We can get him his match. Just to piss off Rollins, and he'll get it. Don't even have to wrestle a match, Matt. That's how it goes. So, yeah, Rollins to win. That's how I see it going. It should be an alright match, though. I think this will shock a few people, the match that they will have. I think Rollins will show us his quality again, shall we say. Undertaker against Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell. Who's going to win? Sorry, did you say Lesnar? Yeah, Lesnar. Yeah, I'll go with Lesnar as well. I think he should win it. I am going with it. I don't think there's any reason that Taker should win this match with the story that they're telling. What do you think about the quality of this match, though, Matt? Do you think it's going to be good?
No.
You don't? You think it's going to be...
I don't know how to take this match. Purely because I don't know... Is it going to be... but then SummerSlam wasn't that bad.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. You don't think it's going to be a showstopper, shall we say? It'll be alright, but nothing extra special.
That's it.
Nothing that you're going to want to go back and watch again, shall we say? Probably
not.
Yeah. I think it'll go...
As a feature unit.
I think...
Sort of like... I guess feature is the word I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
That then it'll be okay. But as anything more than that, no.
Yeah, I think he'll do his job in being a spectacle at very least.
That's the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be a long match either. I think you're probably going to get maybe 15 minutes tops with these guys.
Entrances and all?
No. I mean 50 minutes of ring time. I think that's the max you're going to get. But sure, yeah, I think Lesnar wins. And then they build up to something with him going into Mania, getting ideas. I don't think he'll be wrestling that much. I think you're probably going to see him run about Rumble time. I don't think he's got any matches set up for a while, and he's been doing lots and lots of matches and dates since SummerSlam. I mean, this is his second match against Taker. You know, he had his match against Rollins the month before, so there is that. So yeah, that's our predictions for the show. We're actually completely the same, Matt, throughout the entire event.
Unanimous.
So if we're entirely correct, then both of us win. If we lose, we both fail. But there is that. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below. Also, if you did enjoy this show, you can subscribe to the channel and be one of our over 450 subscribers. We set a new challenge for ourselves, Matt, didn't we? We said, we can probably hit 450 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
We hit that, right? So we've already done that. Let's go to 500. Let's see if we can hit 500 by the end of the year. That's our new task. And I don't know, with the explosion of interest in the show, 1,000 at the end of next year doesn't seem nearly as far-fetched anymore, which is quite cool to think.
Yeah.
If you guys want to leave any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below or on our Twitter account, which is
@TalkWrestlePod.
You just always on hand for that, mate. Always on hand. So yeah, you can do that. And yes, so the other thing is the intro competition. If you want to get the very first Let's Talk Wrestling exclusive t-shirt, then you can enter the intro competition. 30 seconds or more, or a little bit less. Around 30 seconds is fine. And you introduce our show the way that I do every single time. You can ham it up, you can imitate a wrestler, whatever you like, and send in your links to whatever you've got it up. Just any way we can listen. You can put it up on YouTube, send us the MP3, any way that you want to do it. You send that to letstalkwrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Apart from that, I think we're all plugged out.
I think that's us.
I think we're all done. Next episode is episode 99. Yes, it's getting that close. Me and Matt are already starting all of our work. We've got backgrounds and everything all done. Matt's liking all the new stuff. You liked it all this week, so
that's it.
See there. And we hope you guys had a great week. Hope you did enjoy the show. And we'll catch you all next time.
We'll catch you soon.
Excellent. Bye-bye.
Bye.